And Court, I think even Giants fans might enjoy that moment. Even if you're not a fan of the A's, you got to love Stephen Vogt.
You do. And Kelly, just so happens I am a fan of the A's. And
and you've heard him say that
all
before.
12 of us up in this area are very happy about that. But yeah, if you're a Giants fan, why wouldn't you be happy for Stephen Vogt? What we're seeing for today is going to be a pretty big home run for the morning, but not so much for the afternoon as we see temperatures on the rise again. So it's mild and cool early on today. We'll end up with temperatures that are a little warmer this afternoon than what we saw yesterday and mostly sunny skies. We'll finally start to see temperatures dropping as we head into next week, though, so at least there's an end in sight to this slow but sure rise in temperatures we've been seeing over the last several days. Looks like that heat is going to be peaking tomorrow. And what we're seeing outside as you're getting ready to head out the door this morning, this is that live look over Mount Shasta from our Yreka camera, and you can see we have clear conditions overhead right now. That's not necessarily going to stay the case throughout the entire day. Some thin clouds projected to brush across our region. Air quality, good to moderate across the majority of Northern California right now, so positive news there. And temperatures pretty comfortable, slightly warmer than what we were seeing or on par with yesterday with lower to mid 60s in the valley, 50s to mid 60s in the foothills, and higher elevations 30s to 40s. So our mountain zones are actually trending slightly below yesterday in some zones. Winds out of the northeast to around 5 miles an hour right now in Red Bluff, but for the rest of us, those winds are mostly calm, and winds only up to around 10 miles an hour out of the south this afternoon. Next several days, it's the same. Light northeast winds in the morning, light south winds in the afternoon. You can keep that trend going as we head through this weekend, but winds do start to pick up a little bit Saturday into Sunday in some of our higher elevations, but not into a problematic range. Satellite and radar, clear skies right now, and as I expand this look out into the Pacific, what we're going to be seeing here is still the main influence in our forecast is this ridge of high pressure building west. This is actually going to start to track west, which is known as retrograding when a weather pattern starts to move west instead of east, and that'll end up off the coast as we head through this weekend, so that still drives our forecast and will be the main influence. So you can see that ridge staying strong today and tomorrow, starting to track a little further to the west as we head into your Friday and Saturday. That looks to finally be centered off the coast. We'll start to see a little bit of a cooling influence from a low pressure area developing just to our north, and then the bigger cooling influence is from a system dropping south from British Columbia next week. Now, that's going to interact with that ridge of high pressure along the coast, and this potentially could drive some gusty north winds across our region, and that could increase our fire danger for the middle of next week as well. So it's not all good news in the forecast. The cooler temperatures certainly welcome, but we don't want to see those gusty north winds. Highs today in the northern mountains, 80s to lower 90s. We'll end up in the 70s to mid 80s in the Sierra and southern Cascades, 70s to mid 80s in the foothills as well, up to 85 degrees in Paradise and 84 for Forest Ranch. If you're in the valley today, it's low to mid 90s again for the afternoon. Sunny to mostly sunny with south winds in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range later on today, lower 90s in the mid valley for your Thursday afternoon. Your Storm Tracker 7-day forecast for your weekend's always in view. Tomorrow is the peak of the heat that we'll see this week, and through your 7-day, 93 degrees in Chico. Still lower 90s through the weekend with sunshine and lows in the low 60s. Finally cooling into the mid 80s Tuesday and lower to mid 80s Wednesday with those north winds picking up. Reading up to 96 degrees Friday, staying in the low to mid 90s through Monday, dipping into the upper 80s Tuesday, mid to upper 80s on Wednesday. So Kelly, we finally do have a downward trend in those temperatures, but it's going to be after this upcoming weekend. So if you're making those outdoor plans, keep in mind the afternoons are going to be fairly toasty.